Hi guys and welcome. This is the Oukitel K10 review, and I can officially say this is the best battery performing smartphone that I've ever had or used since starting this channel. It's absolutely incredible, and at the moment it's only around £205 on GearBest. There are Amazon links below if you want to get it straight from the UK, but obviously you're going to pay a little bit more. Some people found this phone to look ugly. I disagree because of the benefits that offers. It has to be a thick phone, a thick and chunky phone, to accommodate for that 11,000 milliamp battery. With that 11,000 milliamp battery, you get beautiful battery performance. So in my eyes, it's not an ugly phone in that respect. It's actually a well-designed phone. It's well built. It is a solid phone with the Australian calf leather on the back, the metal brushed effect all around the sides and on the top of the phone, also surrounded by a hardened rubber frame. Gives it a bit of extra protection if you drop it. But I really like the screen. It's not Gorilla Glass, but it is a 1080p 18:9 6-inch full HD plus display. And if you look at the corners and the edges, they look brilliant. It's well crafted, it really is. I really like that. Screen brightness is very good as well, especially in very, very bright conditions. And you can see this right here, the sun is absolutely blaring out. That's on full brightness right there. But if you do turn it down, then obviously you're not going to see much at all. It's very, very dim. The fingerprint sensor works okay. Could be a little bit quicker, but accuracy is definitely there. I've tried it a few times here. On the K10, you can't use both the fingerprint and Face ID at the same time, which is a bit unfortunate. On the VK World S8 that I reviewed previously, you could use both at the same time. The Face ID unlock works pretty well outdoors in good lighting conditions, but performance does lag a little once the lighting conditions are a little bit darker. I'd just stick with the fingerprint, really. So the camera on this phone, online, it says a 21 megapixel rear camera with a 13 megapixel front facing camera. In the device info app, the actual resolution, or the hardware resolution, it says is 16 megapixel, and it does have a Samsung sensor. Front facing camera, you get some decent shots outside when there's obviously really good lighting conditions. Even on the rear camera as well is pretty good. Unfortunately, there's still that error or that fault where you're recording video on the front facing camera and the audio is out of sync. Testing the front facing camera on the Oukitel K10 still has the out of sync issue. So not a lot you can do with that. But interestingly enough, if you use Snapchat, the app, and use front facing camera, the audio is not out of sync.
Hello, everybody. What are you doing?
So it's a little bit odd as to why it's doing that, but maybe that's the way around it if you want to do some front-facing video, obviously without the filters. I mean, as I say all the time with these budget smartphones, it's always the camera that lets these smartphones down. Some are a little bit better than others, but it's really, really hard to separate them on most occasions. But here are some photos and videos that I've took over the last 7 days.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
You can say Dada. Here. Open your mouth. Beep, 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 beep. Mmm. Nice. Beep, 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 beep. the camera on the whole is okay. It's not shockingly bad. But I want to jump on now to the battery. 11,000 milliamp battery. But this Oukitel K10 is amazing. Okay, this screenshot here, guys, I had 1% left with 43 minutes left, apparently. I didn't get that, unfortunately. But as you can see, just to the left, it says 3 days ago. This was actually around 3.5 days. It doesn't show you the minutes, it just rounds it up to days. Yeah, it must have been around 3.5 days. 1% left, 43% screen. You can see that I use WhatsApp, Maps a lot, and YouTube were my main sort of applications. I did a little bit of gaming. Obviously, I test the gaming out on all the phones, but I'm not a heavy gamer. Screen on time was 20 hours and 21 minutes, which is absolutely incredible. Nearly 24 hours screen on time. You could I'd happily go away for the weekend, a Friday to a Sunday, with this phone fully charged and not take my charger. You wouldn't need it. But yeah, absolutely smashes it with battery performance. Some GPS stats. I use GPS on smartphones nearly every day. Accuracy was up to 8 foot. I had about 18 satellites in use. Average sort of signal, not really weak at all. 3D fix on GNSS status. Good GPS signal throughout on this phone. And I never had no trouble with navigations. I knew exactly where I was going. It was on point, accurate, never jumped off the road and sort of tried to reroute or anything like that. It is spot on. So here we go to the speed test for mobile data. I'm on the EE network in the UK. I have full signal at the moment. Let's see what we get, a live test. Cool, so 18 down and 26 up. Absolutely brilliant, very happy with that. Be very, very happy with them upload speeds when I'm uploading these types of videos, very good. Okay, let's try the Wi-Fi speed test. I'm 2 floors up, so I'm quite a distance away from the router. It's around about half signal. So I'm not expecting to get a great speed, but there is still connectivity there. My broadband at home is 7 meg down and around about half a meg up. That's what you'd get normally. I haven't got fibre here, unfortunately. So that's actually not bad, saying I'm 2 floors away. Nearly 6 meg down and nearly a meg upload. So wireless connectivity, obviously proven here that it's not really a problem, and it hasn't been a problem since I've been using the phone. So the K10 has the Helio P23 processor. It's quite a new one recently. Also has the Mali G71 GPU with 6 gigs of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. So plenty of storage for apps and obviously games if you're a big gamer, and a decent enough RAM as well to cope with them games and other applications that you have open at the same time. Never experienced any issues when playing games, any sort of frame drops or lags in that respect, so that is a positive from the K10. The phone might be a little bit chunky for the average person to hold and to play games, but if you have a Bluetooth controller like myself, just pop it on a stand or anywhere and leisurely sit back and play games that way. Here's a few clips on YouTube. Obviously it's an 18:9 aspect ratio smartphone, and it does support the pinch zoom for full screen on YouTube. You can also see to the left there the flashing red light. That's indicating low battery, but there is LED notification for all messages as well, which are normally blue, and you can pick the colours yourself. But the screen, very, very good screen. Also supports 1080p, 60 frames per second. Very, very smooth. So the Oukitel K10 has quite a decent loudspeaker. It does go quite loud with acceptable audio quality. Let's have a listen to this. Okay, I'll just open a few apps for you now. There's nothing open at the moment. Okay, we're on the 4G connection. Obviously some apps do depend on network, so let's try YouTube. Cool, not bad. My Google Drive. Yep. Instagram. Great, yep. Twitter. There we go. And again, I am on Twitter and on Instagram. Links are in the description below. You can follow me on those platforms as well. Not a huge following on there at the moment, but I'm hoping to get a little bit bigger. But there you go, guys. Apps opening okay there. Pretty rapid, no issues at all. I haven't really experienced any problems with performance. It's been rather snappy. This brings me to the final part, which sort of will complete any sort of phone, and that is with NFC. All of your big flagship smartphones has all bells and whistles. This has got NFC and Android Pay works. Absolutely brilliant. I have my card set up there as well at the top, and NFC works a treat. Enable it in here. Whereas the K6, if you remember, Oukitel K6, it wasn't working for some unknown reason. So when you look at this phone and the specs, it's pretty much got everything you sort of need at the budget price, and it's not bad for just over £200, is it? Some people might not like the chunkiness of it, but the benefit definitely outweighs that for me. The battery life is incredible, and that is the main selling point for me. The screen and the display and the build are excellent. It's a really solid, well-built smartphone. So that is the K10 review. I really hope I've covered as much as I can for all you guys, but if I haven't, please put the comments down below. I'll answer them as best as I can. It's definitely worth the 200 quid, absolutely. But there's links in the description below if you want to take a look at them. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.